MSPCA confirmed that the number of animals rescued from a neglect situation in Hadley has now increased to over 250. That's more than 100 animals since we first reported on it just last night.
Western Mass News reporter Madison Lazowski live in studio after getting answers on what's next for the safety of those animals. Madison.
Yeah, Kristen, man, I've been following this for the last day, and it's just a terrible situation. The number of animals that were saved originally reported to our viewers as over 150, and now that number is getting close to doubling.
There are a number of animals that are significantly underweight, animals that are that have medical issues that need treatment.
It's something that MSPCA leader Mike Kiley deals with almost every day of the year, just not to this extent.
The numbers we're talking about sometimes exceed the numbers of animals a smaller organization may see an entire year, and we're getting them all in one day.
Those rescued ranged from farm animals to exotic birds to wildlife, the original count totaling at 150 animals. But after the MSPCA completed the operation, they almost doubled the number in their update.
Bringing in 250 animals into our system is overwhelming. This is not an easy thing to do, bringing an entire farm of animals onto our facilities.
This also comes at a difficult time of the year for the organization.
This is the busiest time of year for our farm department because winter conditions do create more concerns.
Despite the struggle, this is something that MSPCA tried to prevent prior to the seizure warrant.
I think it's fair to say that we have been trying to work with this owner to address the issues of appropriate feed, water, and shelter.
And now that the hundreds of animals are safe and sound from those dire conditions, the next step is rehabilitation.
Now, Kiley explained that for those animals who are considered wildlife and not pets, the MSPCA will work with the Mass Environmental Police and Mass Wildlife to address their needs. However, all of this work can only be done with the help of the public.
To protect animals, we need the public's help with that. And encourage people to call our law enforcement department and report that, or report to the local police department if they do suspect any animal neglect or cruelty.
For more details on how you can report a potential animal neglect situation, head to our website at westernmassnews.com. For now, reporting live in studio, Madison Lazowski, Western Mass News.